Hey, prep students, this is Mr. Luna from Seattle Jazz Ed. I hope that you're doing well. Since we're not able to meet for the next few weeks, we've decided to go online and make some lessons available to kind of help you keep up with your instruments. The main reason for the lesson is to review what we've learned so far and maybe learn a few new things. You and your parents will receive new emails each Monday afternoon until we're able to meet again. If you have any questions, please have your parents send me an email. Soon I will be setting up some office hours where we can chat via video. Once this is ready, you'll be able to make an appointment so that we can meet, talk, and maybe listen to what you've been working on. Last thing before we get into the lessons, there will be a digital toolbox at the bottom of each email. This will be a place where you can access all of your materials for each lessons so that you can print them out in case you need them. It will also have other items such as fingering charts, position charts, and resources like a metronome, which helps you keep time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the first lesson. So each lesson is going to be basically three different sections. The first section will be the warm-up. The second section will be the music that we'll be working on. And then the last section is what I like to call the fun stuff. Fun stuff is just things that are videos that you can watch that are just, I think would be something interesting, something that kind of shows you something different or is just kind of silly and funny. If you have any ideas for some cool videos that we can share with others, feel free to send me an email and let me know because I'll be happy to post that for the next few lessons. All right, so starting from the top, warm up. We're going to start off with our concert B flat scale. So during warm up, what we want to do is we want to work on air support for the wind players and of course vocalists. For our percussion players, you want to work on just having a nice controlled roll. And of course, for our string players, making sure that you're plucking each of those notes nice and strong, and making sure they ring properly. String players, make sure that you're landing those fingers right above the fret so that you don't get that buzzy sound. All right. So the first part of the lesson, first part of the warm up, what you want to do is go ahead and use that metronome. And again, if you don't have a metronome on your phone, iPad, or something of that nature, you can always use an online one. There is a link to that to an online metronome that I like in your toolbox. Again, shoot me an email if you are not sure about how to use that. I'll be happy to let you know how to do that as well. Okay, so when you first start off, go ahead and take a nice deep breath, and from there, and when it comes to the breath, this goes for everybody. Even if you don't use air to play your instrument, you definitely want to still take a breath because basically when we all breathe together, we'll always come in together as a group. So when you start off, set your metronome to 100 BPMs, which stands for beats per minute. Once you got that going, slowly count yourself off, take a nice deep breath, and then go ahead and play each of those notes in the B flat scale up and down in whole notes. Make sure it's nice and steady. Do your best to connect each of the notes and try not to have any gaps in between each of the notes. This may be a little hard at first, but the more and more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Okay, once you're able to take the whole notes and play the scale all the way through, you go start challenging yourself by now playing the scale in half notes. Continue to use the same tempo. Stay at 100 beats per minute. Once you have the half notes, then maybe get into quarter notes. The better you get at this, the more of that you can play. Maybe you can start off by playing the entire scale as whole notes, then go right into half notes, and then right into quarter notes. As we move forward through our lessons, we'll start adding a few more advanced techniques to that. But for now, this is a good way to get your embouchures warmed up, the arms warmed up, the body warmed up. Remember to take it nice and slow. Play at a volume or a dynamic that's not too loud, not too soft. Again, we're warming up. All right, so as we go into the next section, which will be our music section, we're going to start playing a tune called Now's the Time by Charlie Parker. When we're learning new music, it's always important for you to go through and listen to what the song sounds like. So what I've gone ahead and done in the email is a link to a YouTube video of the song. Now again, the song is written by Charlie Parker, jazz legend alto sax player, but this particular recording features Miles Davis, again, another jazz legend who plays the trumpet. Go ahead and start that up. When you have a chance, listen to it. I would advise that you definitely listen to this song at least once, if not 2 to 3 times a day, to really get the melody in your head. On this particular recording, the melody starts at minute 14 seconds. Okay, and let me state that again. It starts at 14 seconds from the beginning. All right. Once you have that in your head, continue to listen to the tune throughout the day to make sure that you get it really, really ingrained in your head. As we learn the song, the first thing I want you to go through and do is I want you to go ahead and write in your notes on the paper. Make sure you don't forget about adding sharps and flats that are part of the melody. Sometimes we'll write in a B and we realize it's supposed to be a B flat. Remember, a B flat, a B are not the same note, and they have different positions, different fingerings for those particular notes. So make sure you get those notes in correctly. From there, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and just play the first 2 measures. Play all of the notes in order. Don't worry about the rhythm. Just play each of the notes in order slowly. Make sure that you get your fingers, your slide positions, all that. Get them used to moving in that particular order. Again, only play the first 2 measures. The reason that I want you to do this is mainly because a lot of the song is very repetitive, though there are small differences in the melody as you go along. If you listen to the recording, you'll hear this. Okay. From there, what I'd like you to do is then count out the rhythm. If you noticed on the worksheet that I provided, the sheet music, I should say, at the very top of it, I've written out the counts. I've written it out by listing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You'll notice that some of the beats are in parentheses. If they're in parentheses, you do not actually count that out. So if you look at the first measure, or at least the beginning part of it, it'll start off by, it actually starts on the upbeat of 4. So the way you want to count that out is 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 and 2 and 3. And 1 and 2 and 3. Count it out. Get used to playing the rhythm. Once you feel that you have the rhythm in your head, go ahead and try to add the notes to it. Now, a trick of the trade here is, again, using that YouTube video. You can go ahead and slow down that video to help you be able to play along with it. If you don't know how to slow down the video on YouTube, again, go to your toolbox. When you go in there, there is a sheet that'll give you a link to a video that teaches you how to access that portion of the video so that you can either slow it down or speed it up. You can slow it down a whole lot or speed it up just as much. The great thing about it is it doesn't change the pitch, so it will sound exactly like it does on the paper. All right, so once you've done that, continue practicing those 2 measures with notes and in rhythm. And again, listening to the video so that you make sure you have the rhythm and the melody correct. Once you feel comfortable with those 2 measures, go on to the next 2 measures. You'll notice that most likely it'll be about the same type of rhythm and melody line. All right, so once you've got through that, go ahead and jump into the 3rd section, which is the fun stuff. For this time around, what I've gone ahead and added there are just a couple of videos. The first one is the Ohio State Band, which is a college marching band that always does what we call a field show. If you don't know what a field show is, it's basically a big... It's the band moving around the field, creating shapes and designs, all while playing music. This particular one uses the theme of SpongeBob SquarePants, using their music and, of course, using a lot of cool images from the show. The second video is the recycled percussion ensemble, and it's basically 3 drummers who use a variety of different types of quote-unquote recycled instruments, which includes trash cans, pots, pans, and of course a few drums, and they put on a performance which I think is pretty cool. So I hope you enjoy those particular videos, and again, if you find any videos that you think are pretty cool and would be fun to share with others, let me know. Send me an email and I'll be happy to start putting them into these particular lessons. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to listen and see you all soon. Take care.